everyone. We have Arena Tournament 10 here. Looks like the turnout is quite low, so that's not good to see. Um, Looks like Devin's having trouble joining the tournament, so pretty sure Devin's in our chess group, but let me just make sure. Yeah, registration is pretty terrible, to be honest. Um, Probably the worst part is that all of the people that we rescheduled the tournament for are not in the tournament, which is really disappointing. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, so yeah, what do we have? 7 people. Yeah, and the tournament starts in 30 seconds. This is really disappointing. Um, yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm pretty frustrated that we changed the time for some people and they didn't show up. So I don't know what can I say about that. Probably they'll be here, but just running a bit late. Okay, so who we got an eighth person now. So who do we get? Grumpy File. Okay, we just got Vince in the last second. So how come how come 2 people didn't get paired? Looks like Brian and Ray. So is Brian not on the tournament? Because I thought Brian was like the first one to register, so I thought Brian was gonna have a good tournament here. Anyway, let's look at the game between Steven and Charles. So what do we miss so far? So we have e4, e5. Yeah, so the kids are pretty loyal to this 4 knights. I really prefer c3 here. And the point of c3 is to try to get the d4 push in, but knight c3 is also fine. Just it's not as testing of a variation for black. D3, b6. Yeah, b6 I really don't like at all. So this light square bishop has this natural diagonal it can develop on. So there's no point in opening up another diagonal for this bishop to develop because we already have a very good square for the bishop. Um, it's kind of amazing. All the kids join like right after the tournament starts. Like the point of the tournament is to try to get in as many games, and the earlier you get paired, the better. So what can you do? So we have 8 players now. All right, so b6, bishop g5, h6. Really nice move by Charles here. Putting the question to the bishop already so that this pin is not as annoying. Take. I don't really like take here. Even though bishops and knights are both worth 3 points, typically the bishop is worth slightly more than the knight. So bishop h4 is much more common here. Take, knight d5, queen back, h3, and bishop b7. So yeah, I think Charles has largely played well, but I really don't like this. I don't know. I mean, I don't see where the bishop is doing here. Like, if you want to put pressure on this knight eventually, you could just play bishop e6. Seems logical. I don't know why Kimmy joined and then signed off. All right, queen d2, knight d4, take, and then queen f4. Very interesting development from Steven here. So I think Steven's position is slightly better, but nothing to be afraid of as from the black side here. H4, castle. Okay. So here we have the 2 bishop advantage for black. Again, though, this bishop here doesn't strike me as particularly great. Queen g3 is a really mature move from Steven here because I think he's trying to play like f4, f5, and f6. And yeah, I really like c6 from Charles here is logical. So of course we're going to take that with the queen. I don't know, maybe something like b5 or like we can try to trap this bishop, right? Some idea of like b5, a5, a4 seems tempting to me. But if we look at this position, like the only bad piece that black really has is bishop. It's not a terrible piece because we could just play c5 and open up the diagonal. Queen d7 I don't really get. Yes, I always get all these questions very last minute. I'm like, I'm always available, plenty of time in advance, but then last second I get all of these questions. So I wish that they would ask the people would ask me these questions before the tournament starts, so this way I can focus on the games. But um, I don't know, it never seems to work that way. Yeah, so now I can't even follow the game as much as I'd like to. And I do feel bad because I really want these videos to be instructive for the kids. And when I am distracted by like other things that I could have been doing before the tournament, I think it makes the video like lot less instructive because I'm just not able to talk about the things that I would prefer to talk about. Like in this game, I already missed so many moves here. So I think after c6, okay, take, castle, queen d7. Queen d7, I really didn't understand that much. F4. So really nice plan by Steven. So queen g3 is kind of congruous with this g4 move. So what I'm trying to say is he's playing with a good plan here, white. D5, take. So this bishop might be a weakness, but these pawns are also not very good to look at on the eyes, right? Because now this bishop is stuck here. I feel like Eileen probably can't join the tournament again, so I think I'm going to get a message from her. A3 there, look here, F5, F6. Yeah, I like F6 from Charles because F6 from White was going to be strong. We did weaken these squares a bit. So I think it's a question of who can reroute their light square bishop first. So yeah, both of these light square bishops don't strike me as particularly good. How did Eileen lose already? She didn't even get a game yet. I don't. Or did she just? Oh, she must have just got pairs. What happened? Okay. All right, so we're up to 13 players. That's good. I don't know where Crystal is. Where's Elizabeth? Where's Christina? Oh, we have Jonathan. Awesome. So we lost Sam already. All right. I don't know. I don't know if this time change was a great idea. It feels like we lost more players than we gained. It feels like to me. So, and then a lot of the people who said they were going to play at this time haven't shown up yet, which is okay. So we got Devin in. That's good. All right. So what's going on in this game? So F6. Looks like Steven's in the tank. So, um, yeah, I think here we should try to just fight for this E file. But I guess the problem is if we play rook here, we're going to lose this pawn. So I guess should we try to play the queen back to F4 and then maybe go for G4 and G5 as a plan? Looks kind of interesting to me. Um, Also, maybe a move like c4, just it would open up our opponent's bishop a lot, but it might also open up our bishop. So c4 would be a really double-edged move. Queen f4 though, right? Because queen f4, we can just go after this weak d4 pawn. Seems very logical to me. Maybe even queen g4 is a bit more accurate because then we're guarding the e2 square, so we don't have to worry about rook e2. So maybe queen g4 is the right idea. But queen g4, then we can't get g4, g5 in. So it's kind of a tough decision here. I'm sort of leaning towards queen g4 though still because rook e2 does look a tad bit annoying to me. Rook e2 and then the rooks are just going to get doubled up. So what did Steve end up playing here? He played... Okay, so he's just going to give away his f pawn. But what is his compensation? Oh, I guess he wants to play rook e7 at the end, hitting the bishop and then attacking g7 with mate. So this was a really nice move from Steven. So if white does go after this pawn, rook e7 looks like a crushing move. Very nice calculation from Steven here. Yeah, I don't know why we're losing so many players. Weird. Okay, what can we do? I really like the way that both the players are thinking this game. They still have plenty of time. At some point, they might have to speed up a bit, but I think in these kind of critical situations, spending your time and thinking about the possibilities is good. So it's showing a lot of maturity in the kids' play, which is what you want to see. One thing I might be tempted to do as black is just get off of this diagonal with my king. So I don't think this is an idea that Charles is going to find, just to be honest. Not a criticism, but I think something like king h8. And then maybe we could even consider sacrificing a pawn with like rook e3 in the future. And then try to play d4 at some point and open up the diagonal for this bishop. And if that happens, then Charles could say that my critique of his play was not very accurate, because this bishop could become a monster then. But you might have to sacrifice 2 pawns to accomplish that, so I really don't know. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I guess Nathan doesn't want to play unless he can come in first, because he said he was. I know he had violin at 1 o'clock, but I was hoping. He said he was going to try to get a few games in, but I understand if he didn't want to play unless he could play the whole tournament. So what did? Okay, Charles is still thinking. Okay, yeah, it's a tough position for Charles. Did he play? Okay, queen there, queen there. Bishop c6. Okay, these moves don't make that much sense to me. I would think that rook e6 would have to be very strong here. So what happened here? Rook there. Just losing the rook for free, Steven? Oh, and we missed it. We missed the free rook. Free rook. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Not only that, we could also drop back the bishop if we need to. Yeah, this is a free rook. Oh, no. Okay. This is a free bishop, right? Just take here, and then we hang the bishop on c6. Yeah, nice find by Steven there. All right, so nice conversion. So Steven's a really good player, and Charles is a good player too, for that matter. But it looks like Steven's a little bit older here and use his experience to his advantage. But if we gotta look out for our opponent's mistakes, though. That's one thing I probably should talk about the kids, because I'm always asking them what's their opponent's threat. We also need to see if our opponents are making a mistake when they move. So after rook f2 is just free rook, right? Free rook, and that we could basically call this a victory for black after that. And here, probably instead of king h2, king h1 is a bit safer, but I don't think it makes a huge difference. Wow, g5 lashing out there, f6. Yeah, really nice job by Steven converting his advantage here. So very nice game. So what else can we look at? Let's look at George versus Devin. So we have e4. Yeah, and the kids are very loyal to the 4 knights opening. I try to get them to branch out, but they seem very loyal to this opening, which is fine. It's a perfectly sound opening. So queen d2. Ooh, I don't like queen d2 from George. Right, it stops this bishop from moving. George kind of has a tendency to move his queen a bit too early, and especially here, just because, like, what's the queen doing on d2 that it wasn't doing on d1? I don't really see why the queen belongs here. Ooh, g5, hanging upon opening up the king. Yeah, that's a bit risky, right? Why are we? Because now queen d2 just makes perfect sense, right? We could even take with the queen here. Wow, yeah, so that move didn't make that much sense. Huh? What's going on today? We're giving away our knight for a pawn? What's the... Why? No. Come on. Nope, this is not what we talk about in class. We never say give away for a pawn with no attacking or any checkmate in the air. This is just giving away material for no reason, because George's position is just so great. The king is exposed. We're up a pawn. I mean, we could probably play something like queen here, and knight g5 is a threat. Bishop g5 is a threat. So yeah, I really don't like. I mean, that's just not a good move. And then here we're giving away another pawn. I really don't understand what George is doing here. Just giving away his. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is not the best game I've ever seen George play. There. Yeah, I like this move from Devin. So now we can play rook g6. Although bishop takes f7 is a good move for George here to prevent that. So he did play that. Okay, good. I still think bishop g5 should be very good for black here. Just trade out some pieces and simplify into a one endgame. Knight f6. Knight f6 I don't like, right? Why are we giving away the rook? Yeah, I mean, this doesn't make any sense because we're making our piece that's active in the center, making it a passive piece. Like this rook is already protected plenty of times. We have the queen, we have the king protecting it. We don't need to bring our knight back and protect it again. That's not necessary. Again, bishop g5 is just a straightforward way to trade off some minor pieces and go into a one endgame because if white does take with their bishop, queen takes. Now with our queen here, we're threatening a checkmate on g2. And then if white trades off the queens, which they might have to do, then we take with the rook. And now our rook is not under attack anymore. We're just up material here. So now it looks like we have a pretty interesting game. Yeah, so many pawn moves, right? We got to get our pieces out. B5. Although, okay, hold on. B5 is trapping the knight. I take that back. B5 was a very, very strong move from Devin. So now I think we have to play something like maybe queen e4 to counterattack the knight, but I don't think this is going to do very much. B5 was an excellent move from Devin. I stand corrected there. Right there, take. Yeah, okay, this move I don't really care for. A5 right now we should try to develop. Probably something like queen d6, try to trade off the queens. Remember, when you're the side that's up material, trades are good. So in this position, white has one minor piece compared to 4 for black. I guess we do have a rook also. So it looks like we have a rook and bishop, which is worth 8 points, versus these 4 minor pieces, which are worth 12 points. So any trade for black of any major piece should be good here. Okay. So yeah, this would be another good opportunity for Devin to just trade off some pieces. H3. Wow, what's going on here? Oh, bishop d4. Very nice move from George. We also could have just taken a knight, but bishop d4. Okay, have to block. So here I think we should just take this because we have 2 defenders on the bishop, the rook and the queen, versus the 2 attackers. Because if the problem is that when we take the bishop, we're allowing this knight to develop, and then the knight's hitting our rook. Unless our plan is to play queen e5. If this is good, then maybe this works, but I don't think this makes too big of a difference. Rook there. Okay, this was a nice move by George. Okay, so maybe I do like the way George is playing this. Bad move from Devin, right? Because this move is with check, right? So we do want to counterattack our opponent's queen, but the problem is that this move is check. And I take that back. We don't necessarily want to counterattack our opponent's queen. We want to look for opportunities to do that if it's good. But here, this is clearly not good because we just lose the queen. Yeah, very nice job from George. Yeah, very nice, very nice. So, good. Good. Yeah, I like that move. Yeah, very, very nice job from George. And then, yeah, look at every move we're sort of hanging pieces here. Yeah, George showed a lot of fight in this game. So, no, rook d2, we just check, right? This is the ladder technique. We've gone over this in class a bunch too. Check, 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 checkmate, right? And we don't even have to worry about the king ever going to the e-file because we have this white queen guarding all the squares on the e-file. So this is basically a very easy ladder mate. Here, like I don't really get rook d2. It just seems so passive when you're up so much material, but it's okay. It's not a bad move. But we just check, 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 checkmate, and that's it. Is Kimmy in first place? Kimmy beat Max? Is that accurate? I wasn't expecting. Wow. Okay. I wish I would have covered that game then. Let's look at Ray versus Brian here. So here we have e4, knight c6. Yeah, it's really funny. Like kids will be kids. I can't tell you how many times I told you Brian that this move is bad. He's extremely loyal to it, and I don't. I don't really know how to change his mind. Like I tell him that the bishop doesn't really do much here. It's much better to try to get the bishop out this way. And the reason for that, right, is we're trying to apply some pressure to this knight and create a pin. From this square, like sometimes the bishop can do like very little, oftentimes. But yeah, he's pretty loyal to it. So I mean, this setup is fine. There's nothing wrong with this setup. And like knight g5, it just does absolutely nothing for me. It just loses a piece. We're not even threatening here because of this pawn here. It's kind of interesting the difference between class play and when the tournaments come. I know from personal experience, right, you get a bit more nervous, but I mean, we just have a free knight here, and this is also something we talk about a lot during class. Yeah, the knight's still hanging, so I think the kids just need a bit more practice outside of class time, and this is something they should be seeing by this point in their chess development. Yeah, there's really nothing else. Like even playing bishop e7, like you see that you can attack the knight, so you should see that the queen is hitting the knight. This is yeah, this is just not good. Yeah, I don't get anything that Brian's doing. Like we always say in class, like don't move the same piece twice. We haven't developed our light square bishop. Yeah, I'm not happy with this game from either side really. Yeah, now queen d2. So I really like this. That move I don't really like from Ray. I would have much rather seen queen d2 and just go after this pawn. Now the pawn's protected. g3, hanging this pawn. I guess if this, that's interesting. Look there. Maybe we should try for something like queen f3 and then bishop to f5 and trap the queen. So after queen f3, probably black will have to play something like d6, and then this knight is really kind of stranded here on b7. Yeah, don't really care for this. Oh, that's true. They could have played knight d6 also. So I take that back. This is also another idea. It still feels like queen f3 is the right move to me. Just get your queen onto an active square. We could try to develop the knight to probably c3 seems very reasonable. Maybe c3, e2, and f4. Trying to put some pressure on the queen makes some sense here. Or knight c3 is also a very reasonable move from Ray. c6. Now we can just win a pawn. Like we could take here after pawn takes. Then we have bishop takes h7 check, and then queen takes d6 is one possibility. Bishop here I don't care for because after this move g3 we weakened our light squares a bit, and if we lose our light square bishop, okay, probably it's not a huge deal for white here because the black king is even more at danger than the white king in this position, and the light square bishop is not getting to this g2 square anytime soon. I mean, here we should just take this guy though. Take, I think. Yeah, because take, knight takes, pawn takes bishop, takes here. That's just a free piece. I mean, God, no, nope. We're not even seeing the free pieces either side. And like Ray just made this move instantly, so they're not looking at the board. I mean, we gotta see this. This is a free piece. This is a free piece here. I'll try to relax. I know the kids are doing the best they can, but the reason I get frustrated because in class time they see these things all the time, and I know it's just the pressure of the tournaments why they're missing them, and the pressure of your time ticking down also makes it difficult. But yeah, there's a free queen. So yeah, I didn't get that game. That wasn't what we want to see. Let's look at Eileen and George. So let's see. So Eileen has the white pieces here. d4. Wow, free pawn. So George is just playing like aggro this game, just very aggressive. Like, huh? Yeah, I don't understand, Eileen. Just go ahead and take this pawn, right? That's another pawn. Go ahead and grab it. f4. Because now you have the weak pawns when it could be your opponent having the weak pawns. So knight f3. Bishop b4, c3. I've been seeing a lot of improvement in Eileen, though. This is a really nice move, like picking up the tempo on the bishop. This is something we talk about in class all the time. Although then Eileen does go and return the favor with this move, allowing our c6. Just put the bishop on d3, or e2 is also fine square. D3 is probably a bit more accurate here because we're putting some pressure on this diagonal, but either way. Yeah, I mean, the improvement in Eileen is very noticeable to me. I think her improvement has been really impressive. We missed knight takes. Both sides missed knight takes here for some reason. So knight takes here, just hitting the queen and the rook would have been good. So probably instead of h3, Eileen maybe need to play something like knight b3 here. This way the bishop protects the pawn. We could also play something like queen e2, also seems reasonable to me. g4. Wow. No king safety at all. We're just weakening our king. Like in this position, we had we had so many different options, right? We could have just taken knight here and then brought the other knight to f3. g4 just seems so weakening. Rook takes. Okay. King h8. Wow. c4. c4 is kind of an interesting move. Wow. So no. We lost our queen, Eileen. Yeah, probably we should have taken our opponent's queen, or not probably, but this seems really strong. And then after knight takes, then take back, and I think we're a bit better as white because of our lead in development. But yeah, Eileen was doing well. It's always these long range moves that we seem to miss still. I mean, I guess theoretically Eileen could come back, but I don't really want to look at this game anymore because Eileen is just down a queen. So let's see what other game we could look at. Who haven't we looked at? I think we basically looked at everyone. And do we only have 8 kids playing? So have we looked at one of Josiah's games yet? Who's Josiah playing? Josiah does not have an opponent right now. Who do we want to look at? I guess let's look at Ray and Max. I think we look. So let's see what's going on here. E5 is interesting. The problem with E5 is we're going to lose our queen. What in the world? Are we just moving instantly? We're not paying attention. Wow, this is weird. Weird stuff. Weird. Like, I know if I clasp and... I guess he was trying to castle here, Ray, but his mouse slipped. I know if I had a class with Max right now, he would never make that blunder in a million years. So it's interesting, like when the tournament starts, these different things that happen. What? Okay, so never mind. So we are getting the rook at the end of this? Okay. So I should take that back. Bishop there. I'm not sure why we didn't just take the pawn here, right, and try to trade the queens off. Seems good to me. Knight c3. And probably. Okay, so I like the way that Ray's playing this a lot. So bishop takes. So what's the material? It looks like Max is up 1 point, but Ray has 2 pieces for the rook. So this should be an interesting game here. Probably to play the bishop back to d2 and then maybe to f4. Wow, knight there? So weird. I like bishop b4. That's a really nice active move from Ray. Probably we should go for the queen trade with queen d6 here. I'd be worried about that bishop on b3. That bishop on b3 looks like it's going to get trapped. Yeah, just c5 and then c4 and the bishop's trapped. I think Max should find this. Yeah. Bishop a3 and then c4 and the bishop can't move here because the queen will take. So a pretty nice comeback from Max here. Oh, also the queen was under attack from this bishop. How did I miss that? How long has this been hanging? Yeah, after queen c3, we could have just taken. So I should have seen that also. Yeah. All right, good job from Max overcoming his early blunder, although that's not very good. All right, let's look at Steven versus Devin here. hanging the queen here, Steven. Just missing the pin. Just a tough game, though. I don't mean to. I know chess is tough, but I think we're just missing so many things. And then like here, why Devin didn't take back? I mean, we just don't kick our pieces. You know, don't capture a piece when we can. Doesn't make any sense. And then why Steven doesn't move the knight so that he doesn't lose the next turn, I also don't get. Yeah, I mean, does no one want? I don't see any reason why you wouldn't take this knight. I guess he was worried about his light square bishop getting trapped. So, but earlier he had many chances to take. So this knight on f5 is a really strong piece for Steven here. Probably just knight takes h6 seems reasonable, and then just bring the knight back. g3 is very unnecessary because this queen's not threatening to take, the king's protecting it, so why we move the... Because when we move the pawn, we're just creating a weakness now. Like now this pawn is much weaker than it was before. Like I think just playing a move like a4 is logical. Just try to open up some lines against the white king here. And if they play b4, we could play c5. Like after a4, I'm not at all worried if they just take the pawn, because now you have these really weak pawns. Queen b5 is also a good idea with the idea of playing a4. So yeah, now just queen here looks really strong. Queen c5 is also good. We have all kinds of entry points against our opponent's king. d5 is probably a really strong move. Yeah, I think Max has a really good chance of just running away with this tournament. What happened to Kimmy? Wasn't he in first place? Then where'd he go? Secret noob. Okay, now he's in fourth place. Okay. That was a good start from Kimmy, though. Winning his first 2 games, that was a nice sign. George. I mean, Brian's 0 for 3. What's going on? And Devin just timed out. Okay. So let's look at Steven versus the fish. Actually, we just looked at Steven's game. Let's look at the fish is Alex. I don't know why I called him the fish. That wasn't very nice, but I guess I just saw his username real quick. But yeah, that was Steven versus Alex. I haven't looked at one of Alex's games today, so I should try to do that. Let's look at one of Vincent's games. We haven't looked at one of Vincent's games today. I think Vincent's going to start improving here really quickly too. So what happened? So we have e4, c5, close Sicilian. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I really like the way Vincent's playing. So he put his pawns on light squares and got rid of his light square bishop. So I feel like this is going to be a very reasonable position for white here, and black for that matter. No, keep the tension, right? We don't want to just trade right away. Keep the tension. E5. Okay. No, we're hanging this pawn, right? So this knight's not attacking anything. We have to take this pawn first, then play h3, right? Otherwise, we're just losing a pawn here. So now we're down a pawn, and that's tough to overcome. Although then Max just gave the pawn back, so we could just take b7. I guess he's saying that he wants you to take because he's going to play... I don't know which rook he's going to play. Maybe this rook here, and he's going to go after this b2 pawn is his idea. Queen... All right, so queen d6 is kind of interesting. Yeah, I think that... yeah, I really like the way Vincent's playing. Now maybe the c pawn is falling. Yeah, really nice play from Vincent here. Really nice job getting his pawn back. Maybe... Yeah, okay, good. So probably rook there. Maybe grab this pawn. And then probably just try to bring the queen back somewhere. Well, I'm not really sure. But I think we can grab this pawn for safely. That doesn't seem like a big problem. And then after rook takes c2, then we have to start thinking, because then our b pawn and our d pawn is hanging after that. So we have to figure out what we want to do next. Yeah, but I think this is a really well played game by Vincent so far. So this is good. And Vincent's rating is jumping up. He's at 687 now. That's good. So Max is going to grab the c pawn now. And then I think we just give away this pawn. I think we should just rook there. Okay. Another interesting move. Rook there. So we're going to lose this guy. And then what's our plan after this? Maybe queen a3? Queen a3 might be interesting. What else is interesting here? d4 might be possible. I'm not that sold on d4, but that's a possibility. Maybe rook here is possible. Rook there makes a lot of sense, just going after this pawn. Yeah, probably rook b1 I like. I like rook b1 here. Although queen b5, a4. Because we could give up 2 rooks for the queen is potential variation here. I don't know. I don't know. What else is good here? Yeah, queen a3. Look at Vincent. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's thinking, taking his time. Vincent's the most improved player, for sure. Oh, I don't know about this for Max. Now we got rook c4. Rook c4 looks really strong. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this for Max. Rook c4 is coming now. Rook c7 is coming. We got lots of ideas. Rook e4 is an idea. We have rook e4 here as well. I don't know. Oh, no. We're threatening here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Chess blindness for me. So I guess I have to play rook e3 probably. Wow, missing a lot. Yeah, queen takes f2 is the threat. Wow. Okay, totally missed that. And now we're going to get mated here and here, mate. That was a good game from Vincent though, either way. Does Max not see it either? Neither of them see it? I didn't see that first either, I have to admit, so. But I think Max is going to find this. He's going to see queen takes f2, queen takes g2 mate. Yeah, that's mate. That was a good game from Vincent though. Yeah, that was a nice game. All right, let's look at Josiah and Brian. So what's going on here? Bishop d6? What's he doing? What in the world is he doing? g6. Like we talked about this too, right? These two moves are weakening this knight here. So yeah, wow, this is terrible. I don't mean to be so mean about these things, but it's just we never talk about this during class, so I would be lying if I say it's not a little frustrating to see some of these moves. Yeah, now just go after the pin piece, right? Like knight d5 looks really strong to me here. Take also should be fine. Take. No, this doesn't look right because now the bishop's protecting the knight. So we should just go after the pin piece, right? We have the pin piece here. Just knight d5, right? Let your opponent, if the opponent plays bishop e7, then you grab this pawn for free. So knight e5 just weakens the d5 square, so we just have knight d5. So hopefully I'll remember to cover this with Josiah in class and Brian for that matter. But just yeah, this is just not what we want. Yeah, so now we're attacking the pin piece, but it's not nearly as good because it's protected again. It still should be strong, but not as strong. So d6. Yeah, and that's just a free piece. Bishop takes. Yep. I would double up the rooks here, right? Don't give your opponent the open file. I mean, rook takes 8-7 should be fine, but just for caution, I'd probably double up the rooks here. You can get that pawn whenever you want. f4. Yeah, I like the way Josiah plays. He has a really uncompromising style. Knight b6. Probably knight b6 might be a little too flashy. Just bishop here, because after knight b6, queen b4, what's the point? f5, d5. I'd take with the knight there, but taking with the bishop should also be fine. King there. Take, take, check, check, check. G4. Ooh, G4 I don't like. We got to play with our pieces here. Yeah, G4 I don't even really get the idea. It's another thing we can take the F7 pawn. Black one? What in the world? What in the world? What a swindle by Brian here. And like here, I think the easiest way to mate, what is the easiest way to mate? Probably queen check, king here. If the king comes to king, I guess there is a idea, but then we just take the rook, I believe. So queen here, king here, rook here with check, king here, then rook h7 with the discover check, king f8, and then, yeah, then I think we just take and we should be completely winning here. Looks like I won at Jonathan's game, so we haven't looked at Jonathan. So we have Jonathan versus Kimmy here. Yep, Jonathan still loves the 4-move checkmate. It's interesting. It's like kids have their own personalities. Like the moves they like to make, they keep making. And like here, knight b4, right? Moving the same piece twice isn't so bad because we're creating a threat. But why not go knight d4, right? So knight d4, we're creating the same threat, but we're also hitting the queen at the same time. So it's a bit stronger. And then yeah, definitely take with the queen here. Rub material. Go ahead and try to trade some pieces off. Take with the queen here. I think this is definitely the better option. What in the world? What in the world? Yeah, here Jonathan had knight c7. It's just a tough game. It's like learning a new language. I know the improvement's gonna come, but just trying to be patient. Same thing with Kimmy. Like why not just take free piece? I think sometimes we forget how our pieces move. Which, like I always say, just like learning a new language. It's tough. It's definitely not easy. Nope. Now we can just take with nope. Knight takes. We're not looking at what our opponent's pieces can do. We just look at what we're trying to do. So I know that Kimmy's playing bishop f3 to take the rook. So I see his idea, but he's just missing that his opponent's knight can just take. What's the best way to finish off this position? I don't know. I mean, we got so many winning ideas. We could play rook here, just take the pawn, and then run our h pawn. I mean, we got so many ideas. This move is also fine. Like even just giving up this pawn is not a big deal. So Crystal is here, but she didn't play in the tournament? Okay. Weird. So yeah, just play king there is fine from Kimmy. King e6 probably a bit more accurate. Either way is fine though. Then after the knight takes, we just take back with the other rook and just perfectly fine here. No, take, eat, free. Just take the knight, right? We gotta get pieces. I don't understand. We just don't want to capture things. Like, isn't it? It's annoying when your opponent's pieces attack you, right? So wouldn't it be great if your opponent didn't have those pieces? If they don't have those pieces, they can't attack you. I'm thinking of like the Willy Wonka meme now, right? How can your opponent attack you with pieces they don't have? And then it's like the Willy Wonka with like a thinking cap on. Ooh, there we go. There we go. That's a nice double attack from Kimmy. There we go. And if bishop to c5, we have a deflection idea, right? We could play rook here, and then if king here, bishop here. Ah, just win the knight. Hopefully we can see this. Oh my goodness, we don't see it. We don't see the backwards bishop move? Or does Kimmy want to play bishop e2 first? He's trying to be a little fancy here. All right, he found it. Good job, Kimmy. Good, good. I like the way the kids seem to be trying really hard though. I know that sometimes I'm critical of their moves, but I do want to say the kids are really thinking. I'm seeing they're using their time. They're not giving up. So all these things are really good traits, and definitely will help them become better chess players. So you gotta take the positives out of all these things. Um, Sometimes as a chess coach, I get a bit impatient because I want the improvement to come so badly and so quickly. But I understand uh, really well how tough a game chess is, and yeah, I wish you'd be like, oh, we just played perfectly, but no, there's still all kinds of mistakes that even really strong players make. It's a really tough game. Taking the pieces for free though, that is something I'd like to see the kids get a better grasp of. Um, like I played a lot of competitive games my whole life, and my large part of my philosophy is you're not playing world champions. Just spot your opponent's mistakes and take advantage of them. Like I used to play like a lot of competitive tennis growing up, and that was kind of my style. I never really liked to make many unforced errors. I wasn't that aggressive of a tennis player. I always just like to wait for my opponent to make a mistake and then kind of capitalize on it. And um, you'll be surprised like what percentage of people you're gonna beat just with that strategy. Yeah. So here we can just get a queen here, and then just yeah, after the king takes the bishop, just rook here looks strong. Queen here is also perfectly fine. I think Kimmy's going to play queen here, but rook I think is the better move. So we'll see. We'll see if Kimmy proves me wrong here. Queen there is also, and any queen move where a queen is safe is perfectly fine because we're up so much material. Right? We're up a queen and a rook now. Yeah, we're just keep checking. Just keep checking when the queen's not going to do anything. We got to get our other pieces involved. Yeah. So part of being a good chess player is you want to use your pieces together in combination. So if we just keep checking with the queen over and over again, we're not going to get a checkmate this way. So we gotta, yeah, we gotta bring the rook in. If Kimmy just wants to keep checking over and over, we're not gonna make any progress. We have other pieces, right? We don't want to just attack with one piece. We want to attack with three pieces. That's why it's good to have more pieces because you can attack with all of them. All of these pieces can combine to attack, and that's one of the hardest things about chess is learning how to coordinate your pieces. I can see Kimmy I guess he wants to keep the pawn so he can get his pawn to the end of the board. Um, but he has this bishop and this rook he can use as well. These pieces are very good attacking pieces. Also, it's not just the queen that can attack. Best thing having, let's say Jonathan just like moves this pawn. If rook c4, king d5, queen c6 mate, that would be the swiftest checkmate. If but I mean, it requires some help from white. If they play something a bit more accurate, then that won't happen, of course. But that is one potential checkmate that I'm seeing now that could occur. Yeah, and the reason I'm sticking with this game is it's always good to show how to give a checkmate. Although it looks like Jonathan might just time out here because he's not, understandably, he's not seeing really what he can play here. Even a move like rook c5, hanging the rook for a bishop is fine, like giving away the rook but getting your opponent's bishop. Not that this is like the greatest thing in the world, of course, but it's definitely an idea. Just simplify the position a tad. So yeah, I think Kimmy's just going to run the pawn down the board and get another queen, even though he doesn't need to. So here comes the pawn to a5. I would guess really that's really likely what's going to happen here, because unless Kimmy doesn't see that the queen's protecting the bishop, in which case he might move the bishop. But if he sees the queen's protecting the bishop, he'll probably just play a5 here. Also, rook c6 is another fine move. Yeah, I don't think he saw that the queen was protecting the bishop then. That's why he moved the bishop. And he wanted to protect the pawn still because he didn't want the king to take. So I see the logic in the move, just that, yeah, we didn't need to move the bishop because it was protected already. Are you still there? I am in mind, body, and soul. I'm still here. Another idea actually was queen e4 was probably the best move. I actually missed out myself because we're hitting the, I don't know why I missed out. We're hitting the queen, we're hitting the bishop, and we're also protecting the bishop via the x-ray concept. Once the king moves, we just take queen takes bishop here, and life is good. Oh, did the game ran out of time? What happened? Should say something. Okay, who do we want to look at now? All right, let's look at Ray versus Brian because they had a lot of good games last tournament. So let's see what's going on here. When I look at Ray's games, I'm seeing like so much maturity in his play. I really, I really have high hopes for Ray's chess. I think he's going to be a great chess player. To be honest, I think he's got good mind for chess. We forgot en passant here. We forgot en passant, Brian. After the pawn moves 2 squares, right? Pawn moves 2 squares. The black pawn, white pawn are next to each other. We can take en passant. Yeah, so this way we don't have to give up a piece. We didn't have to do this. We could have played en passant. En passant, that's a move we got to remember, right? The black pawn moved 2 squares. The black pawn, the white pawn are next to each other. We just take en passant here. I'm still standing. Ooh. Wow, nice play by Ray. And he found this move in 11 seconds? Because basically the threat was queen h7 checkmate, and it's not obvious how you avoid this, but Ray created an escape square for his king, which is very nicely done. Very nice by Ray. Nice, nice, nice. Why did... So he just resigned being down a piece here? Man, Ray is playing really, really well. Really, really well. So what happened here? So here, take. So here we could have taken the queen, right? So we want to, yeah, we just have a free queen here. So how did he lose? He hung a piece. And his queen got trapped. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, interesting. So Ray missed after e6 that his queen was hanging. So after e6, what would have been the best move? Probably just queen e7 looks fine to me. I believe that's okay. What else would have been playable here? Maybe queen c6, but that looks really risky. I think queen e7 was forced here, so this was a tough position for Ray. Yeah, and here I would have just been really happy to just take the queen. After you lose your queen, you're going to pick up this rook. So you just have a whole rook here, and that should be good. This is also should be good, but yeah, knight f6. Wow, knight f6 just comes from nowhere, huh? So I don't understand why we gave away the bishop first. So I think that was kind of a one of the mistakes from Brian here. I mean, we had rook take, so I mean, black is just up a piece here, but I don't think we need to resign here. I think we could have kept playing on. Man, I mean, yeah, the way Ray is playing is fantastic. Let's look at one of Alex's games. We haven't looked at his game, so we have Alex versus Brian here. Good, attacking the pin piece, good. And here, I wouldn't have taken right away. I still would build up the pressure here a bit, but this is fine. G6, no, yeah, like, we don't need to do this, right? We have bishop e7. We don't need to create another diagonal for the bishop. So that's one thing I should talk about the kids a lot more. Like, we already have a bishop diagonal for this bishop. We don't need to do that. What we probably could play here is knight h5 and knight f4, and then try to play queen to g5 and go after the king, the white king here. That strikes me as the best attacking idea. Yeah, so like, why play g6 if you're just going to move the bishop here anyway? So this just creates a weakness, right? Because this pawn was defending the knight, but now it's not defended anymore. Yeah, now Alice is taking advantage of that. What? No, no, queen, no, no, nope, 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 no, 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 no. Just take free piece. No, 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 no. So yeah, what we need to play here, and really nice tactic by Alex, by the way. But what we need to play after queen d2 is just king g7, and again, like g6. That's all the problems come from this g6 move. We're just creating too many holes in our position. Our holes like Swiss cheese, right? This pawn was controlling the dark squares. Now there's nothing controlling this square anymore. I still feel like Brian's position is not bad or anything. Huh. Huh. Maybe king e7 here? He'll probably play... No, king e7 runs into this. We have to play rook f8. Okay, I'm sorry. Wow, yeah, king e7 just gets mated. So rook f8 forced. Yeah, so good thing Brian found that. Now I think just c6, right? I think it's time to kick away this knight. Maybe h6, same thing. We gotta kick away this knight. Probably c6, right? Because it controls the d5 square. Because after we attack the knight, I assume it's going to go to c3. So why allow it to get to d5 safely? So c6, I believe, is the strong move. Then we just play queen e7. Probably push the pawn with f5. Try to offer a queen trade, and hopefully we should be much better there. No, nope, 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 nope. What in the world? What in the world is going on? What is going on? Yeah, but so I see. I had a feeling Alex wanted to reroute his knight to d5, but basically the knight's doing very similar things on b5. I guess he's trying to play this check is his idea, but the king sort of wants to move to e7 anyway. So what should we play here as black? I guess we just bring the queen back to d8 and then check here, check again, and then I think we could play king d7, I believe, and then we should be okay. So queen d8, I believe, is sort of forced here. Rook c8 maybe is also an idea. That's also possible. So maybe force is too strong a word, but king there. Yeah, king there is also a nice move. Yeah, now we just play king c6 and then king here. Although his knight here strong then. This is a really interesting position. So bishop here. That move I don't get. a4, what's the point? Is there a point? This is a really tough position to evaluate. It almost feels like we should give up some material back, so I don't know what we should. Yeah, queen f4, I was looking at this. What's going on here? This is a very hard position to evaluate. Yeah, I'd be really happy with that if I was black. I don't think that move particularly would scare me. What do we play here? Probably. I don't know. I almost like wouldn't mind just taking. Queen b4 also looks interesting. f5. Is that the point behind a4 to play a5 and then bishop c4? Then we have to play b5. No, what's his idea? The rook now. I guess we should play king here. Very, very interesting game. This has been a really interesting one. Because I'm really not. I wouldn't be that worried about this move because then we have rook here. I don't know. This is wild. So king a5 though looks interesting to me. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this game though. This is like one of the. Yeah, it's been a nice game. So it looks like we only have two squares to debate, right? Here or here, and I think king. Why did he resign? He resigned? Why? Just because of this? I mean, he has the rook he can come and take. Then we put pressure on the f2 pawn. No, that's a bad resignation. Let's look at Charles and Ray here. I know we looked at a lot of Ray's games, but we haven't looked at many of Charles. Charles in second place? Wow, okay. Wow, Charles on fire today. D5, just hanging a pawn. We're just hanging a pawn, Ray. We're just hanging a piece. We just lost a piece. Oh, but we won a queen. Ah, but we lost a queen. Oh, wow, wow, wow. There, no, we should just take the knight here, I think. Okay, e6. What's going on? We got Max versus, and Max beats Steven here. I think there's like a lot of mouse slips. Like when you want to castle, you gotta boop, not here. I go one square. And this position, I'm wondering if I think Steven just had Queen B6 here might be strong because we're taking advantage of the pin. The knight could drop back to E2, maybe B5, but that looks kind of risky to me. And then either way, then we have E5, right, attacking the pin piece. And I think we should, I don't know, because we're also, then our knight might be hanging though. So this is kind of tricky. This is kind of a tricky one, but I feel like this should be good for black. So definitely now we just win a piece, right? We have 2 attackers, 1 defender, so we should just take with the bishop with check. Yeah, so how did he lose this? Probably just go king g7 here, right? Get your rook to a good square. Also, you could consider just bringing the bishop back because maybe maybe f5 is annoying, trying to trap your bishop. So maybe just bishop d7 also could be fine. He missed the mate in 1. Missed the mate in 1 here. Yeah, queen c7 wasn't right here. Yeah, probably we just have to go king g7 at some point. f5. I don't think the bishop's gonna get trapped here. It might. So what else could we have experimented with? That was tough. That was tough. Let's look at, where's Grumpy Fog at? Let's look at him and Devin. Yeah, I'm trying to get the kids to push the c-pawn. That's another thing that's taking some time to sink in. Whenever we play a queen pawn game, right, we want to typically push our c-pawn first so we can get our knight behind it and put some more pressure on the d5 square. Yeah, so here we should have just taken back the knight with our queen here. We just hung a piece here. 2 attackers. 2 attackers, only 1 defender here. Oh, everyone's missing this queen move. Did we not learn how to queen moves well enough? This might be something we got to talk about some more. Queen takes knight, free knight. Free knight. Nope. Bishop takes. We're just giving our pieces away. Just giving our pieces away. Bishops, diagonal, right? Pieces move diagonally. Bishops, queen, diagonal. Diagonal moves. It just shows that some pieces are easier to learn than others, I guess. I never thought the bishop would be a particularly difficult piece to learn how to move, though. Bishop always struck me as a pretty easy piece. Here we just gave away our knight. It doesn't matter, though. We're up so much material. Get your rooks in the game, right? We don't got to keep moving the queen. Queen is fine. Get the rooks on the open file. Rook here, boom. Rook here, queen here, even better. Boom, checkmate. Rooks, we don't gotta move pawns. Rooks are more valuable. Rooks on open files, right? We got open file here, rook here, queen here. Rook here, queen here. Checkmate. Boom. Rook, we got other pieces. Rook, use your other pieces. Rook here. Get your other pieces into the attack. All right. Good job. Good job from Ray there. I was just messing around. I was being a little tough, but let's look at Charles and Alex. I haven't looked at many Alex's games today. C6. Okay, I like this one, Charles. Oh, I like this. I like this a lot. Nope. We just lost a piece. We just lost a piece. Oh, nice. Here we could have considered castling, right? Castle, and then if queen takes knight, we have rook e1, pinning the queen to the king here. D4. Ooh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Charles. That's a bit much. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Oh, we gave away our queen in return? What are we doing? We're giving away our best pieces for less valued pieces. Now Charles is up a piece all of a sudden. Bishop there was unnecessary. Get your rook in the game, right? Play your king somewhere, king g7, king f7, maybe king e7, but I'd be slightly careful putting my rook on the open file. Yeah, now we walked into a pin. Okay, we got out of the pin. Okay. Bishop c4 looks fine. We just lost a bishop. We just lost a bishop for no reason. Just give away our pieces too much. That move I didn't get. Take there. Take the other pawn. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna. What? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we giving our pieces away? Check. Wow, we didn't. We had the kings lined up. We got to check here. No, we don't got to push the pawn. We can checkmate with a king and a rook versus a king. We don't need to get a queen here. Getting a queen just makes it more likely we're going to create a stalemate here. That's a. All right, I guess he just wants to push the pawn here, Alex. He didn't really need to do that, but no big deal. Actually, that was a pretty precise way that Alex finished the game off. That was good. All right, so what's going on? So we have Max and Brian here. D6. I can't tell you how many times in class I said, like, in Sicilian, if your opponent plays d4, you like almost don't even think, you just take the pawn because you don't want to allow this move d5. We talked about this a lot. No, terrible. Terrible. I want to be more nice and diplomatic about it, but there's really nothing nice to say about this. I mean, we just didn't even bother to ask what's our opponent's threat, right? I know that we're already I know that the knight is trapped, so we have to look for counterattacking ideas, something like g4. I think we're losing our knight anyway, but we didn't even really look to ask the question. And that's one reason why h6 is probably a mistake here, because that's the only escape square for the knight. That's understandable, right? Anyone can make that mistake, but just not looking at this, like at least get a pawn for your knight, right? At least get something for it. Just giving it away for nothing, I don't know. Because now, I mean, you did get this pawn, but now the queens are coming off the board and you're just down a piece. I'll be more patient. Kids are trying their best. I know everyone's trying their best, so that's the most important thing. I know the improvement's gonna come. It just sometimes it takes time. Just gotta stick with it. Yeah, Max is running away with this one. Although Alex, right, with a streak of 5, 13 or what, 14 points down, that's a lot to make up, but yeah, look at Vincent, 6 out of 10. I'm really proud of Vincent. Really proud of Vincent. His improvement has been spectacular. Yeah, 5 out of 11, 4 out of 10, 7. I haven't looked at many of George's games again. Where's George at? Is he here anywhere? Yeah, and I think we talked about this too in class with Steven. After knight f6, just knight g5 is a very strong move here. So the move that black is supposed to play, I don't think I talked about this with Charles yet, so I can't be too hard on him for this, of course. But bishop e7 is more standard to control the g5 square first, and then you play knight f6. And then after knight f6, if your opponent plays knight g5, then you have the option of castling. All right, looks like Steven got a nice back rank checkmate here. Yeah, I mean, this is of course the best move was to mate in one, but I also wanted to point out that we could also play queen to c8 and then rook to c8 is also a back rank mate. So that's just a pattern to keep in mind. Let's look at Josiah and Max here. So what's going on here? So it looks like Josiah's returning the favor here. What's Josiah's score in this tournament? 4 out of 10. Okay. Let's look at one of George's games. We haven't looked at nearly enough of George's games. So this is Charles versus George. So we have e4, e5, queen h5. All right, so Charles is going for it. Charles said, I lost the last two. Let's just attack. So best move is just probably knight c6 here is a very simple way of protecting the pawn. Then after bishop c4, we have lots of different options. We have g6, we have queen e7, knight f3. Okay, knight f3 surprised me. Now we just have knight f6. Very nice move from George. We don't care that there's more attackers than defenders because if white wants to take with their queen, they're giving up a much more valuable attacker than what black is losing. And if they play knight takes pawn here, we just take their queen. So knight f6, really nice move. This queen is really in bad shape over here already. So here I think we just have a move like d5, right? Because we have the bishop and the queen on the same diagonal. Knight there I don't like at all because now we're allowing queen takes. I see the threat, right? But I would kick go d5, right? Wow, I don't like that move either. Yeah, I just go ahead and take this guy. Then probably d6, right? Just protect the e5 pawn. Looks very straightforward. I thought Nathan had violin lesson. How come he keeps signing on? Bishop there. Nope, don't get that move. Yeah, no one's noticing this pawn anymore. We gotta be a bit more greedy. Maybe in life being greedy isn't such a good trait, but in chess being greedy is very much rewarded. So here we have d6. d6 hitting the knight and then hitting the queen. So we have, this is one thing that hopefully with some practice we'll start noticing more is we have the queen and the bishop on the same diagonal. Just once we move this pawn, you just go ahead and take. What? What in the world? Queen takes f7 mate. Boom. Nope. Queen takes a7 mate. Boom. 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 Shaka laka. Shaka laka. Probably knight d3 or something. g4. Yeah, this move d6 is really strong. If George could ever just play d6, right? He should be thinking, how do I get this bishop developed anyway? d5 is not quite as good because d6 would have hit the knight, but okay. Oh, he lost his queen. He lost his queen. Does he see it? Does George see it? Does George see this? No, he doesn't see it. We got the queen on a light square. We have a light square bishop. This is we missed a lot of bishop moves today. I didn't realize that a bishop would be such a tough piece, but we've missed so many bishop moves today. Boom, shaka laka, shaka laka. Yeah, I think Charles should convert this now, right? He's just up 4 points. Queens are probably coming off here. Maybe queen f6. Maybe queen e7. Queen e7 looks reasonable. Probably just castle though then. Yeah, I don't like g4. We're making too many like weakening pawn moves, I've noticed. Nathan wants to play me? All right. Let's put this on video. So he wants to play with a 5-second increment. All right, let's go. Caro-Kann. Sorry to check away from the tournament, but Yeah, I kind of want to get a game in here. Boom, shaka, laka, shaka. Okay, that move, is that right? For some reason, I think it's supposed to play knight d7 because now I could play knight e5 here, which I think is let's go. Let's go for this. So is h4 just a complete waste of time then? I gotta be careful here. Queen f3. Queen f3, I'm hanging this pawn. Knight c4. Huh. Crazy. Crazy. Crazy for feelings. Well, f4 just seems very risky. Okay, let's say I play h5. Take, take. King takes. What about h5, right? Take, take, take. And then I think it's just h5, right? Should be fine. Feelings. Crazy for feelings. Let's go ahead and take this guy. So he's going to go here. I think I should be fine here. Yes, I should be a bit better here because I have the two bishops, I believe. So I think this should be good. Let's go bishop c4. Just hit this guy, and yeah, this should be a pleasant position for me. So let's say we go. Okay, he wants this guy. So we have to go bishop f4. Okay, there. So you really want to go c5? Is that his idea? Huh. It's a tad unpleasant. This is a tad unpleasant here. Okay, here c5 is a problem. So I guess I have to go bishop d3. Then he's gonna go king here, bishop here. Okay, should be fine. Yeah, luckily you can't go rook f5 because I have bishop protecting it there. So he's going to take away my bishop here. Really nice playing from Nathan here. Really nice job from Nathan. Okay, let's go here. Very nice play from Nathan here. But now I have knight f2, knight e4, knight d6, which should be strong. So I feel confident that I'm still much better here. Because remember, a bishop and knight are usually better than a rook. And then this pawn does a good job of stopping these two pawns from becoming too dangerous, so I should be fine. Okay, so let's go here. Yeah, and the bishop holds the pawn, so I should be good here. Knight f2 holds the d3 square if I need it. Yeah, Nathan's definitely getting tougher and tougher, though. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Here, so he wants to play c4. Should I play b3? So this is something I have to think about here. push, take. Probably gonna take with the rook here, knight here, and does that just win the pawn? I believe it does. Let's just go for this. Seems simple and good. And the good thing is after knight takes c4, I'm holding on to the b pawn as well, which is important. So I think he's going to take with the rook here, although I don't know for sure. Take with the rook. And the good thing is that my knight protects the pawn, so that's very important. That's the important part. So that might be what Nathan missed. He maybe missed that the knight's protecting the pawn here. Alright, so he's trying to get his king active. Probably should try to do the same. But how exactly do I do that? This bishop is like so passive. I don't know. What's he really trying to do? He wants to go to f5 square and g4. Is that his idea? I wonder if I play bishop here, does that do anything? Let's try bishop here. This looks good. Just hit this pawn. I don't know. This doesn't strike me as the best move, but let's see what happens. This knight's a really good piece. Okay, so now I think we go bishop here with the idea of b4 next. If he plays rook here, I have knight d6, forking the king and the rook. Yeah, I think Nathan should be in a bit of trouble here. If he plays king here, I have knight here again. And he'll probably resign now. He might send me a rematch. Yeah, so that was a nice game from Nathan. Yeah, it was fun. So what happened between George and, so we got 4 minutes left in the tournament. So who's in first? Oh my goodness, Max with 48. That might be a new record. He's like the Jeopardy James of this tournament, the high scores, just betting it all on the daily doubles. So what do we got? Vincent? Vincent with 6 in a row. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Man, look at Vincent. Look at Vincent go. So we got to look at this game then. We got Vincent versus Alex. Why do we keep giving away this pawn? This is like the second game. We saw Ray do the same thing, right? There's more attackers than defenders. 1, 2, 3 attackers, 1, 2 defenders. We can't just give away our pawn like this. I think the streak might come to an end here for Vincent. But what a tournament for Vincent. Yeah, so it looks like Vincent's down a rook here and 3 pawns, but it's okay. Alex is a really tough player, and but yeah, really nice job from Vincent this tournament. Really proud of him. All of his hard work is paying off. He's really motivated during class times. It's really good to see. Yeah, nice move by Alex, targeting this pawn. So this pawn is stuck here, and there's no other way to protect it, so just rook takes pawn here. Yeah, nice technique from Alex. I feel like I don't give Alex enough credit. I try to temper Alex just a tad because he's such an aggressive player that I want him to develop some patience and stuff. So I don't want to be like too overly nice in my praise because I do feel like Alex could avoid giving away his pieces sometimes. But the talent that I'm seeing from Alex is definitely there. Although here he just hung a pawn. Yeah, Black didn't see it. Bishop. The retreating bishop moves are always the hardest to find. And then as soon as I say that, Vincent finds this nice retreating bishop move. But probably he should have just, or not probably, he definitely should have just taken the pawn there. So now we just have to play like rook here and rook here. And I like that Vincent's looking for a counterplay. It doesn't matter because he doesn't have any real attacking pieces here, but at least he's trying to create some weaknesses in his opponent's position still, which is good. Um, yeah, so all we have to do here, right? We want to push our pawn to c8 safely. So, I mean, this is fine what Alex is doing. He's doing a good job using the pawns. All we have to do, though, is really play rook b8, rook b1 and rook b8, and then that's going to win. Here, bishop b4 check. Yeah, very nice move from Alex. Alex has a lot of talent. That's one thing I noticed. His talent is undeniable. Hopefully this game finishes before the tournament's over because it is so easily winning for white here. All right, perfect. So how many points did Max finish with? 52. Wow, 52. So it looks like the top four, though, they kind of separated themselves from everyone else. So 25 versus 14. Ray had 6 out of 13. Josiah had a bit of a disappointing tournament. Brian had a, I don't know what's going on, Brian. I gotta have a chat with that young man there. Brian's too good to play like this, so I don't know if I don't know what he's missing in class or what he's not sharing with me, but we gotta work on this. I didn't get to look at many of Eileen's games today, but I know Eileen's playing better. I know the wins haven't come yet, but they will. Anyway, it looks like the tournament's over. We're going to get a big flash with Max in first place. Here we go, 52 points. What a dominating victory for young Max over there. Max is a really, really nice kid, really smart kid. He likes to banter with me. I like to banter with him. That's just kind of my personality. That's kind of Max's personality. So we get along very, very well, in my opinion. Hopefully Max feels the same way. We have Alex in second place with 9 out of 10. Very nice performance from Alex. And then Charles with 27 points for third place. So yeah, just want to thank everyone for playing. Hope all the kids had fun. We are going to change the tournament time back to 11:30 because it feels like we lost Nathan and Sam, and only George was able to play in the whole tournament because we changed the time. The whole point of changing the time was to get more kids. I thought there was a few girls in the dance class that were going to play in the tournament if we made the tournament time later, but that didn't appear to happen. Anyway, though, hope everyone enjoyed. Um, Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope my yelling wasn't too bad either. So I just say it because I care and I want you guys to improve. So hopefully it doesn't come across as criticism. It's just I just want you guys to get better. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.